Recording in progress. It's Rubido. She's just so good to me. Oh my goodness. Yay, a couple more. I'll take ya. Okay. What's your name?
Andrea.
Andrea. I'm Katie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Are you friends? Or did you just come
no,
in at the same time?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. We're friends now. Have you not been here before? Or
I
have you?
came on Tuesday.
Okay, the Jacobies.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw you. Cool.
Yes, but what should I do now?
So you're good. So
I'm
now
good?
that you filled out the waiver, you just did, it's just donation based. So you can
Okay.
either Venmo or cash.
Okay.
And then yeah, Andrea, you said?
Yes,
Okay.
Andrea is
Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see here. Do you practice like on the regs, or was Tuesday one of your first classes?
on and off.
Okay, cool. This class will be probably a little harder than Jacoby's, but just take it at your own pace. Everyone does.
Once the child's full,
Yeah, exactly. Anytime you want. Hi, Laura. Okay, you're fine. And my dogs, did you meet my dog the other day, Ruby? She's in there. She's real chill. Okay. Okie dokie, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. Quick announcements. I'm headed to St. George after this class for the weekend. My friend's getting married. So I have a sub for my class tonight, which is Jenny at 8:30. And then I have a sub for my class, my frequency class on Saturday night, which is Jenny. And then I have Sunday, I have Steph. Is Jenny. No, Steph Nally. So she's like one of my favorite instructors personally. So I highly recommend going if you are around. And then I will be back next week, next Monday. I'll be teaching my embodiment class, not this Saturday, next Saturday, 7 to 9. It's yoga, breathwork, and sound. And then afterwards, so I have a live DJ coming for that class. And then he's staying. And then we'll turn it into a big dance party afterwards for as long as we want. So 9 p.m. and onward, we'll just be dancing. So I was telling Paul, ride your bike by and at least check it out and see. Kirsten, ride your bike over with your hubs. He's like, costumes? No. You don't have to wear a costume. You can just come as you are. I'm going to have glow sticks. So if you're not in a costume, I'll just put a glow stick around your neck. All right, my friends, let's do it. So comfortable seated position if you're not there already. And I always personally like to move just a little bit, wiggle just a little bit, so you can feel around and just notice. How did you sleep last night? What's going on in your body today, physically, energetically? And even notice, are there any emotions present for you this morning? So see if you can get curious about your own inner space just a little bit more. And start to notice, start to connect with your breath. So if you're a visual person, you might start to visualize your breath flowing through you, flowing up and down the length of your spine. Maybe you even see your breath flowing out into your hands, down into your feet. So just whatever makes sense to you. Maybe you're not so visual and you just want to feel into the expansion of each inhale, the contraction of each exhale. And with your next inhalation, just very intentionally fill up as big as you possibly can. And then when you think you are full, take a moment to just hold right there And see if there's an extra little sip you can find at the top. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Let it go. All the way to the very bottom. And we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, fill up. If you feel like it today, maybe you even reach your arms up, take up space, hold. You could clasp your hands, interlace your fingers if you feel like it. Extra sip. And big exhale, let it go. Let your arms come down. And then one last time, biggest inhale you've taken all morning. Option to reach your arms out and up, taking up more space. Hold. Extra sip, maybe even 2 extra sips. And let it out your mouth. Very nice. So for a moment, just rest your hands on your lap somewhere and start to connect with and drop into your ujjayi. So before I turn on any music, see if you can start to create that little bit of noise with your own breath. Start to create your own internal rhythm and your own internal vibration. So the inhale is just like you're taking a really, really deep, slow motion gasp. The exhale, it's like you're fogging up a window, but your lips are sealed over the breath. And maybe you even start to think of your breath or visualize your breath or feel into your breath as having 4 parts rather than just 2. So big, huge inhale. And at the top, hold in fullness for just a second. Feel the fullness inside of you. And slow, steady exhale all the way to emptiness, and hold in that emptiness. Maybe find what we call Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. So those locks, those bandhas inside of your body where you feel your intrinsic strength a lot. So you can stay right here, just getting curious about your breath for as long as you want to. And you are also welcome to come back here at any time during our practice that you just need a moment to reconnect or recalibrate. If you're ready to start moving, take your ujjayi breath with you and come forward to your hands and your knees. So tabletop position. And from hands and knees, intuitive movement is all we're doing. So just move however your body feels like moving this morning. If you're not sure where to go, you might start with cat-cows and then get a little more curious, get a little more creative. You can take your hips over to one side and then the other side, almost like you're wagging your tail behind you. You could sit back into a child's pose. Draw big circles with your hips, draw figure 8s with your hips. So this is your time just to feel around. Notice, how's your body doing this morning? And if it helps, invitation to close your eyes. So a lot of times helps me to close my eyes, just get out of my head. So that voice that says, do I look weird? Is anyone watching me? That voice gets to go away for the next 75 minutes. And you just get to be in your body, put your awareness inside, use your felt senses to feel and experience what it's like to be you today. Live in your body today, to feel the energy flowing through you today. So give yourself, let's say 3, 4, 5 more rounds of breath, moving however you want to move. And then downward facing dog is our eventual destination. So you can start to find your own way back whenever you're ready.
Get up. Oh. What are you doing? Come here. Come here.
So see if you can let go of anticipation. See if you can let go of what comes next.
Sit down.
Just be in your down dog right now. So feel everything there is to feel in your downward facing dog. Feel your hands, your fingers.
Sit right.
Feel your arms, your shoulders.
Oh.
Feel the lift that comes from your belly, your strong core.
You get up.
Maybe you want to explore a little bit. Maybe you want to come forward to a plank position, press back to down dog a couple times. So if you're ever unsure how far apart your hands and your feet should be in a down dog, that's a good way to measure. Come forward to plank. And without moving your hands or your feet, just lift your hips and press them back, down dog. So people always want to walk their feet forward. See if you can resist doing that. If you need to do it like little tiny bit, maybe you walk your toes forward an inch or so, but try not to walk them too much. So you want the foundation of this pose to be in your hands. You want to give your body enough space to work into it. Lift your hips high, push the ground away. Take one more big inhale into your down dog. Nice job, everyone. As you exhale, gaze to the top of your mat, and however you'd like to get there, forward fold. Hang out for a moment. You could ragdoll your arms if you'd like. You could bring your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers at the base of your skull, give the back of your neck some traction. So bring your feet for this first fold nice and wide, so at least hips width distance apart. And then big or little bend in your knees. See if you can bring your weight more forward. So more into your toes and the balls of your feet. Yeah, nice, Sarah. So heels stay on the ground, but it might feel interesting just to lift your heels up for a second. So you want to feel like that's easy to lift your heels. And then with heels on the ground, but most of your weight forward, use your strong core to lift your butt even higher, to press your inner thighs back wide and apart. Take one more breath in your forward fold. Good job, you guys. Inhale to a halfway lift position. So spine parallel to the ground, get all the rounding out of your back. Exhale, release and fold all the way to emptiness. Let's roll up. So let your arms hang heavy. Let your head hang heavy. Super, super slow roll all the way to stand. The very top, your head stacks. And then once your head stacks, roll your shoulders up, back, and down a few times. So feeling into the mobility of your shoulders. And eventually, shoulders roll up, back, and down. Keep them there so your palms open and face forward, receptive. If it feels better to take your arms out a little wider, please feel free. So root through your feet, draw up through the crown of your head, broaden through your shoulders and your collarbones. Close your eyes, and for just a moment, feel yourself standing with awareness and attention from the inside. So feel, what does it feel like? Feet on the ground. What does it feel like to take up space in your body? What does it feel like to breathe into every little space? So stay as you are. Next inhale, fill up as big as you can. Just like we did a moment ago, hold in that fullness. Take an extra little sip if it's there. And then out your mouth, release. Ha. Switch back on your Ujjayi breath and reach your arms to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips, lead with your heart. Take a slow dive down and fold. Beautiful. Inhale, lift halfway. Get all the rounding out of your back. All the length in the back of your neck. So feel into that. Exhale, fold. And then let's rise. This time lead with your heart if you can, all the way to stand. Reverse swan dive, arms overhead. Hands to heart center, exhale. Nice job, friends. One more like that. Inhale, high mountain. Then how much awareness can you bring into this dive? Hinge at your hips all the way down. Exhale. Beautiful. Find emptiness as you fold deeply. Halfway lift position, Ardha Uttanasana. Nice, Sarah. Get all the rounding out. Lengthen. Good, Cam. Exhale, release, and fold. So empty out. Connect to your center from that place. Take it back up. Inhale your arms overhead. Maybe you even gaze up. Beautiful. Hands to your heart. Exhale. All right. Inhale. Take your arms up. And then try not to move your hips. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Notice if your hips came with you, square up your hips and imagine you're squeezing a yoga block in between your inner thighs. If you have one and you want to put it there, please feel free. So broaden through your shoulders and reach through your fingertips. Take one more round. See if you can twist a little further. Use your strong core. Yes, good. Inhale back to center, arms up. Hips stay square, other side. So exhale, twist, left arm forward, right arm back. Pull your left hip back and press your right hip forward as you hug in with your inner thighs. Breathe all the way down to your belly and use your exhale to twist a little further. Reach through your fingertips like you have great big wings. Yes. So it doesn't look like much, but you should feel it. Last round. As you inhale back to center, high mountain. And then as you exhale, little baby back bend. Cactus your arms, puff up your chest. Hug in with your inner thighs like you're squeezing that invisible yoga block. Inhale, re-extend, realign. Stick out your butt, reach your heart forward and dive down as you exhale. Nice work, friends. Halfway lift position, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, plank position, pause. We're moving into a side plank. Right hand is your base. Roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot. Feet can be stacked or staggered. And for this variation where we're headed, I personally like my feet staggered better. If you want to, you could also lower your right knee down to modify. Lift your hips as high as you can. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to thread your left arm underneath you. Reach for the opposite wall. Reach, reach, reach as far as you can. Inhale, back up. Lift your hips, reach high. Just like that, 2 more. Exhale, thread your left arm through. Don't let your hips drop down. So feel your strong right side abdominals. Inhale, back up. Big deep breaths. 1 more time. Exhale, thread it through. Yes, reach, reach, reach. Inhale, back up. Exhale, plank or modified plank. So take just a moment to prepare. Inhale, push the ground away. Exhale all the way to your belly. Nice work. Start with a baby cobra. So stay low and feel the strength in your back body. Exhale, release. Let it go. Spider-Man cobra. Bring your hands to frame your yoga mat. You're up on your fingertips. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, take a little twist to your right side and dip your left shoulder down. Yes. Inhale, back through center. Lift your heart. Draw your navel in and up to protect your low back. Exhale, other side, twist. Good breathing. Inhale, back to center. Press through pelvis and shoelaces. Tone your belly. Exhale, let it go. Give yourself 1 more heart opener, 1 more back bend of your choice. So full cobra, up dog, sphinx, locust, you choose, and then we'll see you in downward facing dog. Get there however you would like. Big deep breaths, Ujjayi. So reconnect to your Ujjayi breath if you've lost it. Your breath, if you can figure out how to use it, it is such a powerful tool that you have in your practice. Is supporting you every single moment from the inside. Even when your muscles are tired, your breath is brand new every single time you inhale. Next time you breathe in, take your right leg to the sky. Good job, friends. Take a moment, and if you want to, you can open your hip or explore a little bit. Feel your strong hands on the ground. Feel your connection to your center. So imagine there's an invisible rope attached to your belly button. It's pulling up, it's tugging towards the top corner of the back wall. Take 1 more big inhale, nice knee, and lengthen your right leg. Exhale, right knee to your nose. So scoop out your belly, round your spine, step forward softly. Awesome, Sarah. Take your time to rise up to a crescent lunge. Yes, good. Nice, Laura. So all of your toes face forward. Your hips are square. Energetically, imagine you're hugging in towards midline. So front hip draws back, back hip draws forward. Take 1 more inhale to reach high. As you exhale, twist left arm forward, right arm back. Bend your back knee to a hover and imagine your back thigh. Pull it forward. Try to drag it forward. See if you can pull your front hip back, squeeze your inner thighs more, and twist, twist, twist. Breathe all the way down into your belly to work your twist. Very nice. Maybe gaze over your right hand behind you. Awesome, Paul. Take 1 more round, my friends. All right, listen, bottom of your exhale, right forearm across your low back, turn your shoulders to look at the front wall again, reach your left arm up and reach your left fingertips back, puff up your chest. So you're not leaning back and dropping into your low spine, but instead you're puffing up and curling open. Nice, Dai. So keep that bend in your back knee, keep that tone in your belly, keep breathing, soften your face. One more big inhale. Nice, Liz. Exhale, left hand to the ground. Stay in a twist a little longer, right arm to the sky. So revolve lunge. Yes, and if there's any way you want to work it, feel free. Personally, I like to walk my left hand or my left fingertips off the left edge of my mat, and then right fingertips reach back behind you. Heart starts to open up even more. So it's like you're trying to touch the person behind you. Yes, strong through your legs, strong breath. Breathe all the way down into your belly. One last round. Awesome, Daniela. And let it go. Good, Andrea. Let's take it all the way over to a wide-legged forward fold. So walk your hands to the left long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet. Straighten your legs. Halfway lift. Inhale. And then pause right here. Right fingertips to the ground, or maybe your right hand's on a block. Left arm to the sky. So a little twist. Notice, did your right hip collapse? Is it lower than your left hip? See if you can get your hips nice and level. So the twist is coming from your belly, from your center. Option 2, wrap your left arm behind you if you would like. Option 2, bring your right hand to your outer left ankle if you would like. Take a couple more rounds on this side. Your pose, your personal fullest expression. And then let's slowly switch to the other side. So bottom of your next exhale. Start with left hand or left fingertips on the ground, right arm up. Feel your hips nice and level. Maybe you even bring a hand to your sacrum behind you and feel. And then at any point, if you want, right arm wraps behind you, left hand grabs your outer right ankle. Good, Katie. And you can gently work the pose with leverage and your big deep breaths. Let's take a couple more on this side. Scam. And when you feel pretty even, let it go and just hang out in your wide-legged fold for a couple more rounds, anywhere you would like to go. Maybe ragdoll your arms, maybe walk your hands straight forward or even underneath your legs. Perhaps an open mouth sigh would feel really good. Yeah. Next time you breathe in, come back to your halfway lift position, fingertips on the ground. So bend your knees as needed. Walk your hands to the top of your space, back to a low lunge. From low lunge, step your back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. See, exhale, let it go. Let's take it all the way up, arms overhead. Hands to heart as you exhale. All right, inhale, arms to the sky. Pause right here, interlace your fingers, steeple your index. Get your arms as straight as you can, so squeeze your biceps next to your ears. Hug an invisible yoga block with your inner thighs. Move your hips towards the windows as your upper body reaches towards the opposite wall. Notice, did your left arm come forward? Are you looking at the ground? Pull your left shoulder back and down. Maybe even take your gaze slightly up. Yes, amazing. Hug in with your inner thighs. Create a crescent moon with your body. One more round. Yes, beautiful. Through center, realign, re-lengthen. Make any adjustments needed. And then other side. So hips towards the right side of the room as you point your index fingers towards the window. Notice if your palms are coming apart and your elbows are bending, try to make your arms long, strong, and powerful. Right shoulder back and down, plugged in. Yes, good. Awesome, Jill. Breathe into your right rib cage, your right waistline. Last round. And back to center, arms to the sky. Keep your clasp a little longer. Sit back into a chair pose. So rather than pointing your index fingers forward, see if you can start to press your arms back, point your index fingers straight up towards the ceiling. Sit a little deeper. Notice if you let go through your belly and your ribs are flaring forward a lot. See if you can draw your belly button back towards your spine. Feel your ribs knit together just a little bit. Sit lower, one more round. You're amazing, good job. Inhale, high mountain, release your clasp. As you exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Shoulders roll back and down. Shoulder blades squeeze your spine. Maybe you reach your hands back. Possibly even lift your heart up. One more in-breath. Hinge at your hips. Take it all the way down. Forward fold. Hang out with your fingers interlaced in your forward fold for about 2 or 3 breaths. So see if you can let your head be heavy. Let your neck relax. Maybe that means you bend your knees more. Your head a little shake or a little nod. Lift your sit bones higher. Lift your knuckles higher. Yes, breathe bigger. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to low back. Release your clasp. Nice and easy. Let your arms hang now. Give them a little shaky shake. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift, realign your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, plank position. Pause, side plank. This time, left hand is your foundation. So roll onto the baby toe edge of left foot. Feet can be stacked. That will probably be the hardest variation. Feet can be staggered. Or to modify, left knee can absolutely come down. So lift your hips really high. Reach your right fingertips really high. One more inhale. With your exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. Reach as far as you can. Lift your hips high. Inhale, unthread. Slow and controlled movement. Exhale, right arm reaches. Hips stay lifted. 3 times total. Inhale, reach up. And last one. Exhale, thread your right arm through. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale, lift back up. Good job. Plank or modify. Spread your fingers. Inhale to push the ground away. Slowly lower, one strong straight line. Nice, Katie. As you inhale, just a baby cobra, so stay low. Put your elbow tips back, almost like you're trying to drag yourself forward. Exhale, release. Nice, Diane. Spider-Man cobra, hands out wide. Up on your fingertips, lift your heart, breathe in. Exhale, take your little twist. You can go to either side first. Through center, inhale. And twist, exhale. Inhale, lift your heart. Beautiful, let it go. Exhale. One more heart opener. Again, this one's yours, so whatever you would like. Hold it as long as you want to. Maybe you look over one shoulder, then the other. See you in down dog as you are ready. Ujjayi breath. So fire it up if you have lost it. Use it to support you and hold you. Inhale, left leg to the sky. And feel free if you want, open your hip, explore a little bit on this side. Feel your strong hands, your strong fingers on the ground. So spread your fingers wide. Imagine you're trying to push the ground away. Feel the lift that comes from your center. Good job. One more inhale, lengthen your left leg. Strong and powerful. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly, round your spine. Softly step your left foot forward, low lunge. Nice, Cam. And then take your time to rise up to your crescent lunge. Sydney. So all of your toes face forward. Your back leg is just as strong as your front leg. There is an element of balance. You're on the ball of your back foot. So it's hard to find stability unless you can hug towards midline. So hugging towards midline, that's always how we stabilize. And then from that stable place, from our center, we can grow and expand into our expression. So from your strong legs, into your expression in your upper body. One more inhale. As you exhale, twist. Right arm goes forward, left arm goes back. Back knee bends to a hover. If you want to modify, you can bring your back knee down gently to the ground. If your back knee stays lifted, imagine you're trying to drag your backside forward and pull your front hip back. So hug towards midline even more. Maybe gaze over your left hand behind you for a balance challenge. Take one more round, twist a little further. Very nice, my friends. All right, bottom of your exhale, left forearm across your low back. Square your shoulders again so they're facing the front of the room. Right arm up, and then start to reach your right fingertips back as you lift your heart. So it's very different from just leaning back and collapsing through your low spine. You want to pump up your chest, curl open. Feel all that length in your right side. Beautiful. One more huge inhale. Reach through your right fingertips. Beautiful, Kirsten. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Revolve lunge, so left arm up. Stay open through the left side of your heart. And if you'd like, you can take that variation where your right hand walks off the right edge of your mat. Maybe a block's underneath it, or maybe you're on your fingertips. And then left fingertips reach back. Heart starts to look up even more. Yes, so it's like you're trying to reach back and touch the wall or the person behind you. Wherever you are at, your variation is your breath there. Can you feel it moving all the way down? Take one more round and work your twist. Very bottom of your exhalation, unwind. Hands over to the right long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. All right, so you can ignore me, do your own thing if you prefer. Otherwise, we're moving towards Skandasana. So first option is just to walk your hands towards the back edge of your mat and bend your right knee. You could stay right here. You could also keep your left hand on the ground, right arm to the sky. Otherwise, Skandasana, right toes pivot towards the back edge of your mat. Left toes pivot to face towards the ceiling. If at all possible, right heel stays on the ground. So if you can keep your right heel on the ground, imagine now that you're energetically trying to magnetize your heels together. So in order to take your hands off the ground, your legs have to have some strong structure. That's that hugging towards midline. Wherever you are at, last couple of breaths. If your left toes are facing up, flex them back. Press down through the back of your heel, hug towards midline. Let's slowly switch to the other side. So however you need to get there, you can take that variation with all of your toes facing forward, or pivot your left toes towards the front edge of your mat, right toes towards the sky. If you cannot keep your left heel on the ground, it's usually an adjustment that needs to happen in your pelvis. So play around with it. Hug in with your heels. Maybe lift your arms. Couple more breaths on this side. Yes. Good. And I will leave it up to you. So when you feel pretty much even, wherever you want to go for your last couple of breaths or so, you can take it back to center. Maybe you want to go side to side a few times. Totally up to you. About 3 more breaths. If you want, sigh it out. Halfway lift position, inhale. Fingertips on the ground, walk your hands forward. So bend your knees if you need to as you crawl your hands forward, and then just step your back foot forward so you're in a forward fold at the top of your space. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Let's take it all the way up, arms to the sky. Breathe in, lengthen. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, inhale, arms reach up. This time, chair pose, sit back. So weight in your heels. Rather than knees coming forward, your butt is going back. So you should be able to pick up your toes and spread them. For this one, feet hips width distance apart. So if they're not already there, bring your feet hips width distance apart. And then we are going to twist. Left hand comes down in between your feet, right arm to the sky. You can absolutely use a block under your left hand. Another modification would be to bring your left forearm across your thighs, right arm up. So you do you. If you want to wrap your right arm behind your back for a half bind, go for it. If the full bind feels accessible to you, go for it. You'll be here for about 3 more breaths. And if you're like me, I hate this pose. It's so uncomfortable. See if you can just be with that discomfort for 3 breaths. Sit a little bit deeper, twist a little bit further. Yes, amazing. And very end of your next exhale, unwind, forward fold. Thanks, Sarah. So let it go, shake it out. You will most likely need to keep your knees very bent to get into this variation of a forward fold. So knees really, really bent to start out with. Bring your arms outside your legs, hands behind your ankles, forearms behind your calves, elbows behind your knees. Once you've got that, now start to straighten your legs by pressing your arms into your legs back into your arms, and lifting your butt as high as you can. Use your core. Relax your neck, let your head be heavy. So think crown of your head moves closer to the ground as your hips and your butt lifts higher. Big deep breaths. This is an active forward fold. I know it's hard. Breathe into your back body. Breathe into the backs of your legs. Yes. Thanks, Drea. Good job, everybody. With your next inhalation, halfway lift position. See if you can feel length in the sides of your neck. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank. And this time, you find your own way to down dog. So maybe you want to skip your vinyasa and just lift your hips back and up. Maybe you want to substitute cat-cows. Maybe you want to take that back bend series, those 3 different back bends. So no hurry. See you in down dog in your own time, in your own way. Just move with intention. Move with your breath. Like sky. All right, downward facing dog. Next time you inhale, take your right leg to the sky. And then everyone, open up your right hip. So bend your right knee, reach it out, reach it up. Try not to collapse into your outer left hip. So hug in with your left inner thigh. Squeeze your right outer glute and see if you can lift your right knee a little higher. Take one more inhale. Stay here if you want. Otherwise, right knee to left elbow as you exhale. Get as close as you can. Use your obliques. Inhale, back up, 3-legged dog. Open your hip if you want to. Exhale, right knee, right armpit. So aim way high. Maybe even bend your elbows out a little. Push up. Inhale, back up. Yes. Now, last one, everybody. Knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly and step forward softly. Low lunge. All right. We're moving into a revolved half moon. So from here, I want you to come into a position kind of like a warrior 3, but with your fingertips on the ground or your hands on a block or blocks. So it's different than standing splits. I don't want you to think of it as a one-legged forward fold, but think of a halfway lift in your spine. So spine nice and long. Yeah, if you need blocks, please feel free to come grab some or even raise your hand. I'll bring you some. All right, bring your right hand to the crease in your right hip. So where your leg meets your upper body, stick your fingers in that crease and literally start to push your right hip back. See if you can feel your inner thighs squeeze more and your upper body starts to automatically twist to the right. Use your core now to work that twist more and possibly reach your right arm to the sky. Yes, squeeze your inner thighs. Press your right hip back, lengthen your spine, twist from your center. Beautiful, strong through your back leg. Take one more great big huge full body breath. Beautiful, let it go. Forward fold. So just set your left foot down, you're back in a forward fold, top of your space. You can give your right leg a little shaky shake. Walk your feet out to the width of your yoga mat. Bring your toes out wider than your heels. Low squat, Malasana. And if you want to modify this, you can frame your yoga mat with your feet and stay in a higher squat. If you are in your low squat, elbows to your inner knees or inner thighs, try to keep your heels on the ground if at all possible. If your heels are on the ground, see if you can pick up your toes and spread them. If you tend to roll onto the inner edges of your feet, see if you can press into the outer edges as well. Notice, are you rounding your spine and curling in? See if you can broaden through the front of your shoulders. Feel almost as if you're a turtle coming out of its shell. So lift through the crown of your head, broaden through your shoulders and your collarbones. Last couple of rounds, breathe all the way down into your hips. Nice, Katie. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. Good, Paul. And then bottom of your next exhale, fingertips down, lift your hips up. You can heel toe your feet in however you want to. Actually, let's go with hips width distance apart. So hips width distance apart, all 10 toes face forward. Be set up for where we're headed. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow and fold. Let's rise slowly all the way up. Big stretch, inhale. And hands to your heart, exhale. All right, other side, high mountain pose. Inhale. Chair pose, fierce pose, sit back, exhale. So feet are hips width distance apart, weight is in your heels. Maybe try picking up your toes, feel the aliveness, the energy in your feet. As you are ready, we will twist towards the windows this time. So right hand in between your feet, left arm up. Right hand might also come to a block, good CC. You can also bring your right forearm across your thighs if that feels better. And then if the half or the full bind feels accessible or you want to play with it, feel free. Take about 3 or 4 more deep breaths. If you are so uncomfortable right now and you hate this pose so much, let yourself feel that and then just soften around it. It's only temporary. Tell your body, I know you're uncomfortable, but you're safe. You can relax. All the way to empty with your exhales. Take your last breath and work your twist even further. Unwind, forward fold. Good job, friends. All right. This is another kind of active forward fold, and you'll probably need to bend your knees a lot to get into it. So you'll take your hands behind your legs again, but then you'll thread them back through and grab the front of your opposite shin. So it's kind of like you're making an infinity sign with your hands and grabbing right hand, left shin, left hand, right shin. Once you've got that, just like we did before, start to work the pose by lifting your butt up. Crown towards the ground, sit bones towards the sky. If you tend to roll onto the outer edges of your feet, press into the inner edges. Think inner thighs move back, wide, and apart. Sit bones lift even higher, crown of your head even closer to the ground. Yes, good. One more big breath to work your fold even deeper. The very, very bottom of your exhale, fold as deep as you can. Then release your arms. Nice work. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your hands, feet back. However you'd like to get to down dog once again. So you can take that back bend series. You can skip everything and just go straight back to down dog. Maybe you feel like grabbing a child's pose or some cat-cows. Eventually, downward facing dog, Ujjayi breath. All right, inhale your left leg to the sky. Peel your left hip open. So bend your left knee. Feel the front of your left hip. Look towards the windows. So let it open. Squeeze your outer left glute. It's called your medial glute. Active through your left foot. See if you can lift your left knee higher. Notice if you're sinking into your outer right hip, hug in with your right inner thigh. Lift from your center. One more in breath. Stay here if you want. Otherwise, exhale, left knee, right elbow. Push the ground away as you come forward. Yes, as close as you can come. Inhale, reach back up. Open your hip if you want. Left to left. Aim for your armpit. Add that push up if you want it. Don't let your butt drop down. Nice, Paul. Inhale, back up. Awesome, Katie. Awesome, Kirsten. And then everyone, knee to your nose as you exhale. Step forward softly. Okie doke. Grab your block or blocks if you want. Walk your hands forward. Float your back leg up. So like a warrior 3, with your hands on your blocks or fingertips on the ground. So think of a nice long spine and square hips, like you're in a halfway lift with your spine. Back of your neck is long. Left hand to the crease of your left hip. Literally put your fingers in that crease and push your left hip back. So as you push your left hip back, you should feel your upper body start to twist towards the windows. Feel your inner thighs squeeze together more, and then work that twist with your core strength, with your deep breaths. Maybe eventually left arm to the sky. If it helps to bend your standing leg, feel free. Good job. Awesome, Jill. Breathe all the way down into your belly. Press with your back foot. Nice, Daniela. One last round. And let it go forward fold. Give your left leg a little shake out. Pedal out your heels. Woo. Walk your feet out wide. And again, toes wider than your heels. Low squat balasana. This time, only if you want more intensity, so don't feel like you have to, but option to interlace your fingers, steeple your index fingers, just like we did in our chair pose. Try to point your index finger straight up towards the ceiling rather than forward. Weight in your heels, maybe pick up your toes and spread them. Soften your face. Good, unclench your jaw. Big, deep breaths. And release. Fingertips to the ground. You good. Hips to the sky. Ah. Heel toe your feet in this time, however you want. So hips with distance, or if you like your big toes touching, totally fine. Take a halfway lift. Realign. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your hands, feet back, plank. Pause at the top of your push-up. And then one arm at a time, forearm plank. Come down to your forearms. So elbows under your shoulders, forearms parallel. If you want a little less intensity, you can make a tripod with your hands instead. If your forearms are parallel, then fingers spread wide. See if you can especially press into your thumbs, your index fingers, and your inner wrist, so don't let them lift up. Now, from here, imagine there's an invisible rope attached to your belly button. It starts to pull straight up towards the ceiling. Walk your toes towards your elbows. Lift your hips up, 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 up towards the sky. Dolphin pose. Don't let your elbows drift apart. Don't let your head touch the ground. So keep hogging in with your upper arms, with your elbows. Keep lifting from your center. Press down through the belly of your forearms only if you want to. You're welcome to explore lifting one leg and then the other leg. So use the strength in your legs to lift you out of your upper body. Last couple breaths. You're holding your dolphin. Press your heart back. Good job, everybody. And let it go. Come down to rest in a hero's pose. So just a kneeling position. And if kneeling is not possible for your knees or doesn't work for you today, any other position is fine, just seated. Let your arms rest down by your sides for a moment. And next time you inhale, take just your left arm to the sky. Walk your right fingertips out to your side. And then a little stretch through your left side body. It might even feel good to kind of look down and round your spine, or do the opposite, open up. So just for a moment, feeling into this side. And then in your next breath or two, just on your own, my friends, find your way to the other side. Lengthen through your left side body. And if you want to, you can explore a little bit of cat-cow action from this position. So working into that rounding and that opening if you want. And then no rush. Let's say in your next 3 to 5 breaths, we'll all find our way onto our belly. So if you want to take maybe some cat-cows or some hip circles, or if you want to even move through your own little vinyasa to finally just rest on your belly, feel free. We're moving into a shoulder pigeon. So from your belly, turn your head to the left and extend your right arm straight out to the right. Palm faces the ground. Roll up onto your right side. Yes. So you want to have your head relaxed on the ground, or if you can't relax your head on the ground, put a block underneath your head. Invitation to bring your left foot down behind you, or sometimes I even like to put my left foot in front of me. You can kind of use your left foot as leverage to take it deeper or to let it be a little more shallow today. You can see my left arm is behind me. That's an option. You could also reach your left arm straight up and straight back, like you're trying to get the backs of your hands to touch. If there's any other variation you want to take, feel free. Sometimes I like hand a big toe pose here. You grab your left big toe with your peace fingers, extend your left leg straight up. If you do take the quad stretch, just be really aware of your low back. Keep a little tone in your belly. Just feel whatever there is to feel. Feel your right shoulder. Breathe into your right shoulder. Nice, Jill. Take about 3 more breaths. Next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can. And just like we've been doing, take that extra little sit at the top. And sigh out your mouth. Roll back onto your belly. Now, come into a little baby cobra. So bring your hands to frame your mid ribs and lift just a little bit. Listen carefully. Your right leg stays on the ground, but bend your right knee and slide your right knee up. Now you're going to take your left hand, thread it underneath your right armpit, and grab hold of your right knee. Left hand to right knee. Yes, 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 yes. And then right arm reaches straight up towards the ceiling. Try to relax your head down. Reach your right arm back towards the windows. Let your heart look up. So you're in a supine spinal twist. Open as much as you can through your heart. So if you need to kind of scoot your hips around, that's fine. If your right arm is just hovering in space, might feel like a little bit too much, you can bring your right fingertips to your right shoulder. As best you can. So kind of loosen, on your right leg and let your heart open a little bit more, especially the right side of your heart space. Good. Breathe all the way down into your belly. Take just a couple more breaths. All right, my friends, bottom of your next exhale. Just imagine you're rewinding through all of that. So come back onto your belly, extend your right leg back, and however you want to get there, downward facing dog. So whatever movement you want to take to kind of neutralize, and then find your way back. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Other right leg. And open up your hip. And only if you want to, invitation to flip your dog. Right foot comes down behind. Reach your right arm forward and reach your heart forward. Nice, Laura. Lift your hips really high. See if you can breathe all the way down into your belly. Feel that stretch through your abdominal wall. One more big in breath. And then everyone, 3-legged down dog. So if you need to, you can set your right leg down for a second, then re-extend it. One more big inhale. Reach your right leg high. Pigeon pose, right shin to the top of your space. Bring your body down gently. So set yourself up with intention, with attention. Nice, Kirsten. Right knee towards the outer right edge of your mat. Pull your right hip back. So find that hugging towards midline, even here. And then as you're pulling your right hip back, your heart goes forward. To go deeper, once you're bowing forward, all you have to do is scoot your back knee back a little tiny bit more. Good, Cam. So try not to plop into your pigeon, but imagine there's an invisible rope attached to your right butt cheek, and it's pulling up and tugging back. Take about 3-4 more breaths in regular pigeon. Excellent. And if you want to, you can absolutely stay in your regular pigeon. Otherwise, I'm going to offer a variation. So start to lift your upper body. And this is just a little adjustment. You're going to now let your hips open and sit onto your outer right butt cheek. Adjust your leg so that your right shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Left leg can do whatever feels best. And then right elbow to the sole of your right foot. So it's kind of like your tricep is pressing into the sole of your foot. Make a fist with your right hand and press your left palm into that fist. Work a twist and work the mobility in your right hip. So you should feel it in your right leg, right hip. See if you can lengthen your spine rather than rounding your back. So if you're looking behind you, start to gaze a little more forward and see if you can feel your spine lengthen and follow. Take about 3 more rounds in this twist, or if you don't like the twist, you can just relax and fold over your front leg as well. Totally fine. Breathe all the way down into your right hip, your low back, your groin, your side body. And then keep your legs the same, friends, but lift your body back up. So right shin is still parallel to the front edge of your mat. Slide your left knee up towards your right heel. Take your hands behind you and start to lean back. Rather than creating a back bend and lifting and opening your heart, you want to do the opposite. Knit your front ribs together. Try to neutralize your spine. If you are able to lay all the way down without letting the inside of your left knee lift up, awesome. Only go as far back as you can without letting your inner left knee lift. Yeah. And remember, not a heart opener, but instead go for a nice neutral spine. Breathe. So we're working the inner rotation of our left hip joint. And this, they say, is the first thing that starts to go as you age. So we're going to keep this nice and mobile. If you're laying on the ground all the way down, notice if your left ribs are lifting a lot and try to press your left back ribs down just a little bit. Take about 3 more breaths. Good job, everybody. I know if you're all the way down on your back, it's not super easy to get back up, but try your best. So next time you inhale, everybody will sit all the way back up. And then if possible, keep your arms lifted. If you need to, you can bring your right hand to your side, but see if you can start to take your left leg, swing it around, and then swing it back a few times. So maybe do that like 4 or 5 times. Work the mobility in your left hip and stay as tall as you can and as still as you can through your torso. If you need to, right hand can come down for a little support. Next time your left foot is on the outside of your right thigh, we'll keep it there. Grab hold of your left knee. You can either kind of scoot your right heel towards your left butt cheek or choose to extend your right leg forward, either option. Hug your left knee in, sit up really tall, take your left arm up, sit up even taller, breathe in, and then exhale, twist over your left shoulder. Left hand comes down. Maybe gaze over your left shoulder. Try to stay really tall through your spine so you're not leaning back onto your left hand. Maybe you're even lifting to left fingertips. Or maybe your left hand is on a block. So use your hand behind you to help you sit up taller. Yeah, and broaden through your shoulders. Use your exhales all the way to emptiness. Find emptiness. Pause there for just a moment and see if you can twist a little further. That's your invitation. Take about 2 more deep breaths into your twist. Really good job, everybody. Very bottom of your exhale, unwind just your upper body first. Bring your hands off the right edge of your mat. Take a little bow so your left butt cheek can lift and your spine can round a lot. Sometimes I even like to push my hands down and curl in more. You can even imagine you're trying to twist your upper body towards the back wall a little bit more. Breathe into your low back. And then come back up. Uncross your legs. Take both legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake out. Shaky shake, or maybe you even kind of give them a little pounding. Maybe you want to windshield wiper your shins a couple times. We'll meet in a downward facing dog, so you can get there your own way. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you want to, this is just an option if you're wanting some core. So boat pose it out with me. If you're in the mood, you can grab behind your thighs. You can have your hands behind you for support. You could also bring your arms forward if you're feeling crazy. I can't even do it. Arms back overhead. You could also extend your legs, squeeze your inner thighs together. High boat pose, hold here and breathe here, or take one more inhale here. Low boat pose, hover, squeeze, draw your low belly down. Inhale, high boat lift. Woo, and exhale, low boat hover. Low belly down, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and hover, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let's take one more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, hover. Good job, inhale, lift. You want to hold here, feel free. Otherwise, whenever you're ready, cross your ankles, roll over your feet, step, or if you're feeling a jump back to chaturanga with bent elbows. Move through your vinyasa or don't, up to you. Downward facing dog, walk it out. Inhale, rock forward, high plank or modified plank. Exhale all the way to your belly and pause. We're taking shoulder pigeon now with our left arm out to the left, palm facing the ground. Roll up onto your left side body and choose what variation feels right on this side. So notice if this side feels different and do honor that. So for some reason, it's our mind that thinks we need everything exactly the same on both sides all the time. Our bodies are actually quite different on each side. So start to pay more attention to that. Start to notice your own personal imbalances. It's not a bad thing. Just get curious about it. You can't relax your head on the ground. You can use a block underneath. So try to let your head relax on something. And then big, deep breaths, as deep as you can breathe. For some reason in this pose, when I take really deep breaths, a lot of times I feel a shakiness at the top of my inhale. And that's okay. It's not bad. It means there's an edge there. Be with it. Breathe into it. Soften around it. Get curious. Whatever variation you want to take, about 3 more rounds. Last big, huge inhale. Fill up as big as you can. Hold. Take that extra sip. And out your mouth. Ah. Ease your way back onto your belly. And then come into just a little baby cobra pose. So lift your heart just a little bit. Slide your left knee on the ground. Slide it up. So bend your left knee, slide it up towards your upper body. Then pick up your right hand, thread it underneath your left armpit. Grab hold the outside of your left knee, and then start to reach your left arm up and back behind you. So we're coming into a supine spinal twist. It's a different way of getting there. So play with that. You can scoot your hips around a little bit. You can let go of your left knee if that's helpful to get more into your twist. But feel whatever there is to feel. Lots of times when we come into a pose from a different direction, there's something new that we feel or that we can find. There might be space there that you've never even noticed before. Send your breath into it. If your left arm is just hovering in space and it feels like it's going to fall asleep, it's getting a little tinglies, at any time, you can bring your left arm, or excuse me, left fingertips to your left shoulder, just kind of reaching back with your elbow instead. Very nice. About 3 more deep breaths down into your belly. And just like we did before, kind of rewind out of all of that. Come back onto your belly. Whatever neutralizing movements you want to take as you find your way back to down dog. This will be your last down dog, so give yourself a moment to feel into it. Walk it out and feel all that space you created. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Open your left hip. So bend your knee, peel your hip open, stay right here, or option to flip. Left foot comes down, 3-legged back bend. So heart wants to look at this front wall, see if you can let it. Awesome, Kirsten. Beautiful poses. Nice, Andrea. One more big inhale. Sarah, come back. 3-legged down dog. If you need to set your left foot down for a moment, totally fine. Big inhale to lengthen. Pigeon pose, left shin to the top of your space. Body comes down gently. So regular pigeon to begin with. Left hip pulls back. So imagine that invisible rope attached to your left butt cheek, pulling up and back, tugging up and back as your heart goes forward. Nice, Diane. And then if you want to take it deeper, once you're bowing forward, all you have to do is scoot your back knee back a tiny bit. Doesn't take much. I'm going to come around with a little essential oil spritz. It's not super strong by any means, but if you don't want it on you or near you, just give me a little raise of your hand. Okay, thank you. Focus on your breath. You visualize it moving down into your hip. So what we do when we lift our left butt cheek up and pull it back rather than just kind of collapsing into the pose, when we collapse, we're just exploiting the hypermobility of our joints. We're just plopping into our joints and actually pulling on the tendons and ligaments that are supposed to support our joints. So it's not a good thing. When we plug the femur bone into the hip socket, pull our left butt cheek up and back. So we don't want our left butt cheek on the ground if possible here. Then we're stabilizing through the joint and stretching through the muscles, which is what we want to be doing. So it kind of feels like you're coming out a little bit, I know, but you're actually just creating the strong, stable structure, what we call the integrity of the pose, and then softening around it. Take your last big breath. Slowly start to lift your upper body. We're coming into that position with our left hip now open. So you can let your left hip open and just plop onto the outside of your left hip now. And then once you're there, kind of adjust as needed. So your left shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Back leg can do whatever feels best. It can be more extended. It can be more bent. Up to you. Stay here and just fold over your front leg, or option to take that twist. So twisting from your waistline, left elbow to the sole of your left foot. Make a fist with your left hand and press your right palm into that fist. Lengthen through your spine rather than rounding. So if you're gazing behind you, see if you can take your gaze forward and let your heart, let your spine follow. So as you press your fist, you're working the twist, and you're also probably feeling a bit more of a stretch in your left hip, or maybe just at a different angle. Good. Yeah, last couple rounds. This is a variation from forest yoga. Bottom of your next exhale. Keep your legs the same for now, but just lift your upper body. And if you need to readjust at all, please do. So left shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. Right knee slides up to meet your left heel. Bring your hands behind you and start to make your way back. So straight back. Your body will want to go to the side, to the left, but try as best you can to go straight back. If it bothers your right ankle, then kind of play around with adjusting your foot a little bit, your toes a little bit. Yeah, good. And if you are somebody who's able to just lay all the way down, notice, are your right ribs lifting? Press down through the back of your right ribs. So only go as far as you are able to without letting your inner right knee lift up. So as soon as that knee lifts, you're like, oh, right there. Hold and breathe. After a few breaths, maybe you can go a little further. Knit your front ribs together rather than lifting and opening. So going for a neutral spine. Feeling into the inner rotation of our right hip joint. And slowly, bottom of your next exhale, lift your upper body. And keep your torso nice and tall, if possible, not using your hands. If needed, left hand on the ground. A few times, right leg, swing it around, swing it back. So feeling into the mobility of your right hip joint. Feeling into those, it's called your medial glute, those muscles on the outside of your right butt cheek. They're hard for us to engage for some reason. Eventually, right foot outside of left thigh, keep it there and adjust as you need to. So maybe your left foot comes closer to your right butt cheek, maybe your left leg extends. Hug your knee in, sit up really tall, puff up your chest. Sit up even taller as you reach your right arm to the sky, breathe in. And then exhale, twist to your right side, maybe even gazing over your right shoulder. Try to use your hand, not to put all your weight on and lean back, but to lift you up and help you lengthen more. Breathe down into your belly, about 2-3 more rounds, working your twist at the bottom of each exhale. So hold in emptiness, twist, twist, twist. Very end of your next exhale, unwind just your upper body first, hands off the left edge of your mat and take that little bow. So this should feel good. Round your spine. You can let your right butt cheek lift. You can even push into the ground and curl in more. Breathe into your low back. And then lift up. Uncross your legs. Take them forward again, shake them out. Maybe give them little nice love taps. You can ease your way onto your back if you're like, I'm done. If you're feeling like, I want one last little core sequence, you can go high boat, low boat, maybe take 5 at your own pace. And eventually that low boat, just hover and hold till you can't hold anymore and let it go. That's all I got. I only got 2. Once you're on your back, friends, no rush. Just relax there, move around there, whatever would feel good. So maybe a full body stretch, maybe hugging your knees in, kind of rocking side to side. Give everybody that's getting their last little bits of core work in their time. Once you're on your back, everybody will just have about 10 breaths. Move through any finishing poses. So we did already our supine twist, but maybe there's some other variation you want to take. Maybe you want one last heart opener. Maybe you want one last inversion. Maybe you're ready for Shavasana. You want to go right into your Shavasana, get extra long Shavasana. So no right or wrong. What is your body calling for? Finish off your own personal practice today. So this song has about 1 minute, 30 seconds left. So you have 1 minute, 30 seconds wherever you want to go. If you're already there, perfect. Just stay right there and rest. So I will be playing bowls and my gong. So if you want to sneak out before a little sound bath, you're more than welcome to do so. As you just slowly settle into your Shavasana, friends, let your breath now become effortless. Let your body take over again and breathe you. My thought for you as you just kind of drift off and away. It's simple. It's by Michelle Clark. She says, life is short. And if you're not careful, you'll spend so much time doing everything you have to that you'll run out of time for the things that bring you joy. Make space. It is never convenient. It is always worth it. Life is short. And if you're not careful, you will spend so much time doing everything you have to that you'll run out of time for things that bring you joy. Make space. It's never convenient. It's always worth it. So in my opinion, that's what you are doing right now is making space for yourself. Making space to just be in your body and feel your breath. Even feel yourself as an energetic being. So out there in the world, we do have to use our brains. We have to use our minds to function. It's just necessary. But in here, especially for these last few moments, my invitation is to let go of your thinking, talking, judging mind, let go of needing to figure anything out. And that's what these instruments are intended to do, is confuse your brain so much that it stops trying. And you finally just fall into your own space. So these last few moments are for you, not to do anything, not to be anywhere, not to control or fix, but just to allow yourself to feel, to let everything flow through you. Shavasana. Take a great big deep breath in. And let it go. And just slowly and gently bring wiggles, movement back into your physical body. And as you are ready, roll to either side, fetal position. Give your practice and all the energy from it just a moment to settle as you rest on your side, as you curl into yourself. This pose is meant to feel safe and supportive. So kind of soak some of that safe, supportive energy in for your day. Use your arms, slowly guide yourself up into seated meditation. Notice how you feel. Has anything shifted even a little bit since you sat here about 75 moments ago? You feel any different? No judgment, just observation, curiosity. Bring your hands to your heart, either prayer hands or one palm stacked on top of the other. Bow your head to your own heart. Just acknowledge yourself. Thank yourself. Feel into gratitude for showing up on your mat, taking time to connect with your body, with your breath, with what's going on inside of you. Thank you so, so much for letting me guide you. Namaste. All right, my friends. Ruby's like, my lady's back. My Shavasana lady's back. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a wonderful rest of your day and your weekend, and I hope to see you next week. I have all my retreats out there on the desk, the little flyers. Feel free to grab one if you're curious. They have QR codes, so we'll take you to my website with all the info. Good job. KT. Is it time for your treat? 1 minute.